the General Motors Company. There are a few important dates for the General Motors Company. General Motors was originally founded in 1908. The company then became a corporation in 1916. In 2009, the General Motors Company filed bankruptcy. Previous to filing bankruptcy, the General Motors Corporation employed 244,000 people. Currently, 21,000 of these employees are expected to lose their jobs. General Motors will permanently close 9 of their plants. The General Motors World Headquarters was built in 1976. The headquarters is located in Detroit, Michigan.
GM produces cars and trucks in over 34 countries, many of which are overseas and in Mexico and other places other than the United States. GM at one time had 3 different factories in California, but since all have shut down. One shut down in 1992 and the other shut down in 1984. GM's newest facility that they plan on researching and building is a 2005 $250 million research facility in Shanghai, China, that'll research on developing new hybrid cars and alternative fuel vehicles to save gas in the future. GM is in the automobile industry. The first ever automobile was invented in 1672 by Fernand Verbiest. It was a steam-powered automobile and not nearly as reliable as the cars nowadays. The first 4-stroke engine, which are commonly placed in all cars now, was invented by Carl Benz, the inventor of Mercedes-Benz, in 1885. As you can see in the bottom right, it looks like a horse and buggy with an engine. However, now GM makes cars like the Camaro, as you can see in the bottom left, that are much more reliable and much faster.
Next, I will talk about whether GM is growing or not. We can draw conclusions by their financial statements. Financial statements are open to the public at the end of each financial term. Now, I will show the income statement, which shows how well the company performed during the year. Let's take a closer look. These are income statements from the quarter ending in December of 2008, the quarter ending March of 2009. Comparing net income from the December of 2008 to the March of 2009, there was a $3,679 million increase. Although this is still a net loss, the industry is still recovering. By that, I mean growing.
In this slide, the question is, in what medium does the company advertise? General Motors typically advertises through means of television, magazines, movies, and billboards. In this picture, General Motors is advertising their vehicles through the movie Transformers. The vehicles have a big role in the movie, and it created great exposure for General Motors. General Motors has also decided in 2008 to decrease their advertising budget by means of television. They did this by not advertising their vehicles during popular programs such as the Academy Awards show and the Oscars. Next, we have the main competitors of General Motors and their net incomes in comparison. General Motors' main competitors are Ford Motor and Toyota. At the end of 2008, General Motors had the lowest net income of the three with negative $30,850,000. Ford Motors' net income was negative $14,672,000. Toyota's net income was negative $4,448,000.
Motors plays a huge role in the motor vehicles and parts industry. Amongst its 29 American colleagues, it remains to hold the #1 spot in revenues and possibly innovation. Most American competitors receive total revenues that is less than 14% of GM's total revenue. Looking at the nation's industry as a whole, General Motors seems to have complete control, with the only threat being Ford Motor Company. Now, most competition in this industry is international, and with huge advancements in technology, competing against companies like Toyota and Honda is seen as quite the challenge. GM definitely has a rough road ahead.